Hi guys, Jen here. I know it's been a long time, but I am back. For those of you that have actually missed me, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and jump off with Capricorn. No specific order. I just felt drawn to do Capricorn today, so I went ahead and cleanse my area, cleanse the cards, and I just can't wait to tap in and see what we have for you guys. So let's go ahead and dive in. If you're new here, my name is Jen. I give intuitive messages that are guided by spirit. It's a little bit different than what you guys are probably used to. Hold on, let me lower my chair. Okay, there we go. A little bit different than what you guys are usually, what you see out there, like the popular tarot, you're gonna win the lotto, this person's coming back to you. No, I kind of give more guided messages that are for your highest and greatest good, right? Let me lower this music I was listening to. Sade. They're more like guided messages. They're more for, because we're always going to go through things, right? It's inevitable. Even me, I go through things. And I can't read for myself, so I can't anticipate anything that I'm going through. And if it's meant for me to grow, Spirit is not going to give me a heads up, right? Or else I'll try to detour it. I will try to avoid it. And those tower moments, you know, when they do come, or just things that are uncomfortable, they're meant to build resilience. I know it sounds cliche, but it makes us stronger, and it actually keeps kind of sort of like something you can always look back to and say, hey, I've been through this and I made it through it. And I kind of do that in my own life too. Anytime I'm going through something that seems a bit uncomfortable, I always look back to a time where things were uncomfortable and the outcome is always better than what I expected. It's never the fear. And one download that I got recently while I was washing dishes, and for some reason I usually get downloads when I'm dealing with water, taking a shower, taking a bath, washing dishes. And the message that I got, and I'm not religious, I'm spiritual, and it was basically nothing that is of God or spirit or, you know, higher power, whoever you believe in, will never come in the form of fear. So anytime you feel any sense of doubt, fear, anxiety, any of those negative emotions, just know that that's not coming from your higher self. That's not coming from spirit, because they will never try to induce those type of emotions. Even if it's, you know, something that's not really going to turn out the way you want it to, it's never going to come with fear or anxiety or anything like that. It, at the very least, will come with a sense of calm, a sense of understanding, a sense of, you know, like, okay, contentment, right? So I just wanted to share that for whoever may need to hear it. That's something that I received from Spirit not too long ago, amongst other things. Another message that I got from Spirit, and I'm going to share this with each and every sign, was that God knows what you need. God knows what you like. God knows what is going to attract to you, right? But so does the devil, okay? God and the devil does not hide secrets from each other. So whereas something may seem, how can I put this? Whereas something may seem great, like for instance, if you're looking for love, God knows what you're looking for. God knows the attributes that you're looking for, but so does the devil. So you have to have discernment. And I think that was the message, having discernment as well. But enough about that. Let's go ahead and dive in, right? Because I'm shuffling these cards. Let's go ahead and dive in. Gonna give it one more quick shuffle. Oh, my candle went out and I don't like that. Let me light it again. What is the day? I almost burnt myself. Sorry, guys. I know you're like, get to the point, Jen. I am. Just right before my little TED talk. Okay, let's break. And let's get to it for you, Capricorn. Spirit, Let me get any messages that you have for Capricorn on this lovely Saturday afternoon. Let's see. Okay. Recent past. 3 of Swords. Heartache, right? Everybody knows if you're not familiar with tarot. If you are, 3 of Swords, it's pain, right? It's something that occurred that really kind of brought a dark cloud to your life, right? And that can be very mundane because it's not a major arcana. This can be as something as little as you losing your keys that has broken your heart, or losing a friend, loss, grief, just heartache altogether, right? With the swords, you know, swords has to do with intellect, mind, thinking. So this is something that ruminates or has ruminated over you. This could happen to you or someone around you. I'm going to keep it very general. But to some extent, it did affect you, right? It did cause some sort of heartache. That pain in your chest can literally be a health scare, a pain in your chest. That's also what I'm getting, and that's very specific as well. But nonetheless, this is something that that came after a decision that you had to make, because it comes right after the 2 of Swords. To me, 2 of Swords is that that going within, and it's usually a decision that is either going to be uncomfortable for you or for others, but it needs to be made, right? What I love about the 3 of Swords, though, is right after that, it's the 4 of Swords. It's healing, you know, it's getting through it. It's allowing your body to rest, your mind to rest, things coming in the dream realm as well. So that is what I'm picking up for some of you. Either occurred to you or someone around you. Now, your current energy, the Hangman. Now is a time where you're kind of just letting things be. It's almost like that saying of what you can't control, you leave it up to the higher power. Like that saying, God grant me the serenity to understand things I can't control, and something, I don't really know the words verbatim. If you guys want to look that up, it's the serenity prayer. And that's the feeling that I get when I see the Hangman. It's almost like the release. And if you notice, this figure has on red tights. To me, red is about passion, action, and he's suspended. So that lets me know that right now you're not really moving in a specific direction. You're just sort of suspended. You're allowing things to be. His crown is yellow. Yellow to me is the happiest color. It signifies the sun. It signifies downloads. It signifies, you know, getting kind of like that greater awareness. When I see this, and the last time I pulled this card for myself, I actually had my hair out. And it was so ironic because my hair was in an afro. For some of you, you know, you may want to just let your hair down, let your hair loose, let those downloads come in, let that intuition come in. You might be getting downloads while you're being suspended, while you're not making any moves at this time, while you're just kind of contemplating and just letting things be and letting things come to you. He has his arms behind his back, so it's kind of like he's allowing the universe to take the lead. He is surrendering. Okay, he's surrendering. I'm actually picturing like when someone is in handcuffs. I don't know why that's coming. He's surrendering. I'm not saying anyone's going to jail, but it's surrender, right? And he has one foot kind of leaning towards him, almost like he's comfortable. It's a comfortable surrender. It's like, okay, I'm going to trust in the universe, in the higher power, in God, whoever it is that you put your faith in, that things are going to get better. Right now, I don't need to move. I don't need to do anything. What's coming towards you? 5 of Wands. This may be a time where after that reflection, you may need to kind of defend yourself, right? This could be a situation where, you know, maybe something was said or did and you kind of withdraw, right? It's kind of like it took you aback, or it's taking you aback, and you're kind of deciding, do I fight this or do I let this be? For some of you, there is a sense of needing to defend yourself. There is a sense of, I'm almost getting like competition. This can also have to do with power struggles as well. And it's with a group of people. We're going to get a clarifier about that because I want to see why that is coming towards you. Because in your current energy, you're not doing anything. And then coming towards you is this need for getting in there and getting your hands dirty, right? And not saying that that's a bad thing, but it can be, what I picked up initially was defending yourself, going right in and saying, you know what, look. And it could be with a group of people. So let's get a clarifier for that Three of Swords. Spirit, can you clarify where this came from? Okay. Six of Swords in reverse. Some of you decided to stay. And not saying that you decided to stay, but you didn't move towards calm waters. For some of you, it could have been a decision where you stayed longer than you needed to. You didn't move quick enough. You halted, you stalled. There was a delay in moving towards calmer waters, and it kind of was still in like some choppiness, some muddiness. That's what I'm getting here. This could even, if it has to do with a group of people, you know, staying in the argument or staying in the situation longer than you needed to. And that's what caused heartache. Again, it can be for you or someone in your energy, however the case may be. It affects you to some degree, right? Clarifying your current energy with the Hangman. Three of Cups. Okay, so wow, why am I getting that? For some of you, you are really trying to hold on to some sort of group, whether that's friendships, family, some sort of group. You could be now withdrawn but still in it, sort of like being in a situation where maybe you're planning something and things are going on amongst the group, but you're kind of just suspended. You're taking a step back. You're not really saying anything. You're watching from afar. It could also be that you want this sense of celebration too. Or it could be you're contemplating whether you want to be a part of the celebration. But this is surrounded around some sort of group. Again, it can be friends, family, workplace, people that you really are in close proximity with. But I think for some of you, you're kind of taking a step back. You're kind of watching things unfold. Spirit, clarify that Five of Wands. Six of Cups in reverse. Now, usually upright, it's a sense of nostalgia, right? It's a sense of past. It could be traumas too. And I think for some of you, now if you're coming out, let's say, for example, that certain traumas and triggers kind of were the catalyst to a lot of your actions. I think this is not allowing that to hold you back. Maybe in the past you were, let's say, a people pleaser. Maybe in the past you were, you know, non-confrontational. People walked all over you. You were like a doormat. This is you now realizing those things from the past can no longer benefit you in the future, if that makes sense. Because this is you kind of like taking your power back, Capricorn. This is you not allowing things from your past to hold you back from sticking up for yourself, or allowing things to continue and just sweeping it under the rug and not saying anything. And this is very present. It has to do with the past, but it's like you turned it around. It's very present. For some of you, you've done a lot of trauma work. You've done a lot of healing. And this is bringing out another side of you that is able to stick up for yourself, if that makes sense. Spirit, let me get an advice. You have Strength in reverse. And 10 of Cups in reverse. Yeah, I know they're in reverse, but let me just clarify this for you, because that message came in very clear. When I saw Strength in reverse, my mind wanted to say, oh my God, it's in reverse. But intuitively, Spirit was like, no, 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 no. Strength upright is having the courage. Sometimes even being very gentle with the beast, right? In this instance, and especially with the 10 of Cups in reverse, what this is telling me, Capricorn, is now is not the time to be meek. Now is not the time to show, how can I put this? Now is not the time to kind of soothe someone else's anger, maybe even yours, okay? That's what I'm getting with the Strength card in reverse. And it's not really traditional, but that's what I'm getting, and I'm not going to go against what Spirit is telling me. 10 of Cups in reverse, if this has to do with even going against your usual beliefs or how you would usually handle things, or even picking a side of a family member or a loved one to keep the peace, now is not the time to do that. Now is the time to show your strength. Okay, there is some sort of power struggle going on, and I think here in the past you've allowed this to keep you in a place of not being combative, not wanting to ruffle the feathers, muddy the waters, and you've been in a state of kind of clarity and kind of seeing what you need to do next. And this is telling me that now is not the time to kind of soothe someone else, or maybe even yourself, or kind of feel like courage is just not saying anything. Courage is allowing things to happen to maybe people that you care about without saying anything. Now is not the time for that. Now is the time to kind of speak up and fight, right? One more clarifier, Spirit. 6 of Pentacles in reverse. Yeah. You know, the 6 of Pentacles in reverse, when I see it, and I got, it's not being called cheap. That's what Spirit said. It's not being cheap, because, you know, in a different setting, 6 of Pentacles is being kind of not willing to give, being very tight with your money, being, you know, not being very reciprocal. To me, this is kind of like choosing yourself, and whoever thinks that it's selfish, or maybe you're being cheap with your money or cheap with your resources. No, these are your advice cards right here. 6 of Pentacles in reverse as your advice is, it's basically saying, no, it's not being called cheap. It's being called having boundaries and protecting what's yours and protecting your resources. And if that comes off as being cheap or selfish, then oh well. That's what I got. So listen, this was very, it seems specific. One thing I've learned with doing tarot and even with Spirit, it's not supposed to make sense to me. It's going to make sense to who it needs to make sense for, whoever's watching this. If it resonates with you, definitely give me a like, so I know I'm not just talking to myself and someone out there is listening. And you know, if it doesn't resonate, watch another sign of yours. Watch your moon sign or your rising sign. This is for sun, moon, and rising Capricorn. But if a different sign resonates, then yeah, definitely watch that video. But until next time, take care. Bye.